Let's talk about something that every digital business eventually runs into, the choice between organic and paid traffic. Now, if you have ever Googled how to grow your store, you have probably seen both sides. Some people swear by paid ads, Facebook, Insta, Google, um, and others talk about content marketing, SEO, email, newsletters, and the slow burn of building an audience. So, which one should you focus on? Well, before we even get to the answer, let's take a step back and really define the difference. Because this is not just a technical distinction, it's a mindset difference. Organic traffic is earned, paid traffic is bought, and those two things behave very differently in the wild. Organic traffic is what happens when someone finds you naturally. Maybe they typed something into Google, saw your blog, and clicked through. Maybe they came across your Insta post, got curious, and checked your bio link. Or maybe they saw someone mention your product on Reddit and decided to look you up. There was no ad, no payment, just value, visibility, and relevance doing their job over time. It's slow to build, but once it starts working, it tends to compound. Paid traffic, on the other hand, is fast. You pick your audience, write a message, put some money behind it, and boom, you are showing up in people's feed, search results, or YouTube videos. It is controlled, it is measurable, it can be turned on and off like a faucet. But the moment you stop spending, it stops showing up. So already you can see the trade off, Organic gives you a staying power, paid gives you speed. Organic takes time, paid takes money. So let's go one layer deeper, which is the buyer mindset in each of these channels. And the buyer mindset is little different in each of these channels. Someone who clicks on a search result or a blog post is usually in research mode. They're curious, not in a rush, trying to understand their problem and see what solutions are out there. If they find you during this process and you help them without asking for anything, you start building trust. They might not buy immediately, but they'll remember you. They'll come back. They might subscribe, follow, or sign up. And that's where organic really shines. In building long term customer relationships that are not driven by FOMO or discounts, paid traffic, by contrast, often catches people off guard. It interrupts. Think about how you scroll on Insta. You're there to check stories or updates, and suddenly a product shows up in your feed. That's an ad. I'm sure everyone has faced this kind of situation, right? So for it to work, it has to grab attention, deliver a punchy message, and get people to act now. It's less about nurturing and more about conversion. And that means you need a different strategy. For example, if you're running an ad campaign for a brand new product, you're not just introducing the product, you're also introducing the brand, the offer, the reason to click. That's a lot of weight on one creative. So everything has to be sharp, the image, the headline, and CTA. There's no time to slowly explain on the organic side. Let's say you're building a blog for your D2C, let's say you're building a blog for your D2C pet supply brand. You write a post on how to choose the right dog food for senior dogs, and someone finds it through search. They read it, feel helped, and see your product link as a recommendation. That's a trust based interaction. There is no hard sell. But when done well, it converts, not immediately, but more deeply. So, when do you use each? Here is a simple way to think about it. Use paid when you want fast data, fast traction, or to test a new offer. If you have just launched, paid can help you understand what people are responding to. You can run 3 to 4 ad creatives, see which one gets the best CTR, and learn from the patterns. Paid is also great for retargeting. Someone who visited your site but didn't buy can be shown an ad that nudges them back. That's smart spend. Use organic when you're playing the long term game. Build content that answers real questions. Create videos that show how your product works. Post consistently on your brand's social handle. Yes, it is slower, but it gives you something that paid can never get. Never can get you, which is credibility. When someone finds you on their own, they trust you more. When someone sees your product recommended by a real person, that's worth more than any polished ad. So if you're serious about building a business that lasts, you need both. And here's the tricky part: most people don't mix them well. They go all in one on ads or ignore content, or they blog and post but they never test paid reach. The best approach is integrated. Run an ad that drives people to a blog post, not to a sales page. Post your product video on YouTube, then promote it through Google Ads. Collect emails through your blog, then retarget them later with a special offer. That's when the magic happens, when organic builds trust and paid amplifies it. Now, one more thing, which is budget. A lot of people hesitate to run ads because they think it's too expensive. But here's the truth: you don't need lakhs to start. Even 500 rupees a day, if used smartly, can get you valuable data. Just make sure you're not paying for vanity clicks. If your goal is to sell, track conversion. If your goal is awareness, track reach and engagement. Don't run an ad just because someone said you have to. Run it because you're testing something. And as for organic, the investment there is time and consistency. You can't post once and expect traffic. You need to show up week after week, even when it feels like no one is watching. Because one day someone is, and that post might be the one that converts. And that brings us to one of the most common mistakes people make when starting out: treating organic and paid like separate silos. In reality, they are not enemies, they are not even alternatives. They are teammates. Think of it like this: organic is the groundwork, the foundation, the roots, paid is the loudspeaker. If you try to use paid without any organic presence, you might get clicks, but you won't get confidence. People check, they see your ad, and then they look at your Instagram or your about page or your product reviews. And if your organic presence is thin or non-existent, they bounce. On the flip side, if all you have is organic, it's like whispering in a stadium. You might be saying great things, but hardly anyone hears them. Paid helps broadcast the message. Organic make sure that the message lands. So now let us zoom in on the actual customer journey, because this is where things get interesting. In most cases, a person doesn't just click and buy in a single step, especially for new brands or a higher ticket product. There is path: first touch, interest, research, consideration, and then maybe conversion. If you map that out, you'll notice different types of content work best at different stages. For awareness, paid ads on Insta, YouTube Shorts can create that first spark. Then they land on a blog post or your homepage. They might watch a product video. A few days later, they search for your brand again and land on an SEO article. That's organic. They sign up for your email list. That's the start of retention. Eventually, they see a retargeting ad with a testimonial or a discount and finally click through to buy. That whole dance, that's where paid and organic overlap. It's not either or, it's choreography. And you can plan for this. You can design your funnel to guide people across both channels. For example, imagine you're selling a health supplement. Your blog might answer common questions like best vitamins for fatigue, or morning versus evening supplement. That's your organic gateway. People search, land, and learn. Then you retarget them with paid ads, showing your hero product plus social proof. You're not starting cold, you're picking up where organic left off. That's kind of sequencing is far. And it is more powerful than just boosting a product post and hoping it sticks. So let's look at another scenario. Saying you're launching a monsoon footwear line. You can run a paid Insta campaign that shows people splashing in puddles with your stylish water resistant shoes. That grabs attention. But where do they go next? If it is just a product page, that works for impulse buyer, but you'll miss everyone who wants more. So instead, your ad can link to a visual, rich guide titled "How to Stay Stylish This Monsoon Without Ruining Your Shoes." Inside the post, you educate, show product photos, and drop natural CTAs. That's how you blend organic content with paid reach. And the result is often a much higher conversion rate, because now the user feels informed and empowered, not just sold to. Now, let us talk about platform fit. because not every channel works equally well for both organic and paid. For example, Insta is great for visual paid ads, but organic reach has declined over the years unless you're leveraging reels and stories creatively. Meanwhile, YouTube is a powerhouse for organic content that keeps working for months or years. But the paid ad formats they tend to require more upfront effort. Google search, for example, fantastic for intent driven paid traffic, especially if you're running smart shopping or performance max campaigns. But also one of the best sources of long term organic traffic if your SEO game is strong. Pinterest, often overlooked, can deliver strong organic traffic for product heavy in niches like decor, fashion, or food. And it also allows paid pins to reinforce that traction. So think platform first. What are people doing there? What is the mindset and how you can match it organically or with spend? I'll give you an example of it. Let's take an example of WakeFit, the Indian D2C brand that sells mattresses and sleep product. They've run smart paid campaigns on Insta, fun related, which are fun, relatable, lifestyle focused, but they also invest heavily in organic content. Their blog covers sleep tips, productivity hacks, and health insights. Their YouTube has explainer videos, testimonials, even humor based campaigns. So when someone clicks on an ad, there is a rich library of content waiting. It does not feel like a push, it feels like a brand that knows what it's doing. That is the power of integration. Or look at Mamaearth, another Indian D2C success story. They started with performance marketing to get quick traction, but very quickly built a strong organic presence on Insta and YouTube. Product education, founder stories, influencer shoutouts, all organic, all trust building. And it created a flywheel. Paid ads brought people in, organic content kept them there. That's the formula you want. Let's not forget email. Email is technically organic. You're not paying per spend, but it behaves like a mix of both. You need to earn your way into the inbox, but once you're there, it is a direct line to your audience. You can use paid ads to build that list, for example by offering a lead magnet like a skincare routine guide or a discount coupon, and then nurture the audience organically through automated email flows, welcome emails, product education, seasonal campaigns, all without spending again. So paid feeds the funnel, uh, and organic builds the relationship, and email sits right at the intersection. So here's a mindset mindset shift I really want you to take away, which is don't think channel first, think customer first. Your job isn't to do SEO or run ads because the internet has obviously guided us. Your job is to reach the right person in the right place with the right message at the right time. If that means a blog post on Monday, a video ad on Wednesday, and a retargeting email on Friday, great. If it means skipping ads entirely for a few months to build your content game, also great. But make it intentional. Know your audience and meet them where they are, not just with spend, but with value. And let us close with a simple framework if you can use to balance both sides. It's called the earn, amplify, convert model. First, earn, create content that provides a real value. This can be blogs, video, UGC comparison guides, testimonial, anything that helps someone without requiring a click or a credit card. Then amplify it using paid traffic to put that content in front of more people. Don't just boost random posts, promote the ones that are already working. And finally, convert. Bring them to a landing page or a product page or an offer that's ready to seal the deal. This sequence works whether you're selling beauty products, electronics, or an online course. It's not magic, it's just structured visibility. And if you are wondering where to start small, pick one organic channel and one paid channel, maybe Instagram Reels and Google search ads, or YouTube videos and meta targeting, or run a 2 week experiment measure and see what happens. What did people engage with? What didn't work? Then adjust. That's how digital growth really happens, not just by chasing the latest hacks, but by stacking small wins consistently. One thing many founders underestimate is how differently paid and organic channels perform on timelines. With paid traffic, you can often get results within 24 hours, sometimes even minutes. You set a budget, launch the ad, and if your funnel is working, the result starts showing up fast. But with organic, it's a much slower build. A blog post might take weeks to rank. A video might take time to gain views. Even Instagram Reels need consistent posting to get picked. The key is to manage expectations, and paid is short term, organic is long term. If you expect both to move at the same pace, you'll either overspend on ads or give up on content too soon. Let's talk about another practical difference between organic and paid. How much control do you have over your results? With paid traffic, you're in the driver's seat. You set the budget, you define the audience, you control where the ad shows up, what message is displayed, and for how long. If something isn't working, you can stop it instantly. If it is working, you can scale it. That's a huge advantage, especially when you're testing. You can run A/B test, compare creatives, tweak offers, and get data within days. It's a controlled experiment. Organic, on the other hand, gives you very little control, especially early on. You can't guarantee that your blog will rank on Google. You can't force Instagram to show your reel to the right people. Algorithms, competition, user behavior, they all play a role, which means you have to approach organic from a different angle. You focus on consistency, value, and optimization. It's not about immediate performance, it's about long term presence. The best way to think of it: paid is a faucet, organic is a well. You build the well brick by brick. Once it is ready, it gives you water without needing a budget every time. Now let's touch on metrics because measuring success also looks very different between these two. With paid, you're typically looking at CTR, CPC, ROAS, cost per lead, or cost per conversion. These are clean, quantifiable, and real time. You get a dashboard with clear numbers. With organic, the metrics are more layered. You might track impressions, engagement rate, average session time, backlinks, or email opt-ins. But the biggest success indicator for organic is momentum. Is your traffic trending upward over time? Are you ranking higher on search? Are people returning or sharing your content? Those signals will build slowly, but when they stack up, they're hard to compete with. So here is something that we should consider, which is your creative approach for each traffic type should be different. Paid traffic needs attention, grabbing creatives. You have seconds, sometimes milliseconds, to catch someone's eye. So your visual headline and offer needs to be crisp, clear, and compelling. Think bold and clear, high impact. Organic allows for more depth. You can write long form blogs, post, tell stories, show behind the scenes content, or share customer testimonials in a relaxed way. It's not about stopping someone mid scroll, it's about engaging someone who's already looking. A great example of this contrast is video. For a paid ad on a YouTube or a Instagram, you might open with the product in action, bold text on screen, and a 5-second hook. But for organic YouTube content, you could start with a problem, explain your solution, and walk through a real demo. Same format, completely different style. The intent behind paid and organic is different, so your content strategy must respect that. Now, let us bring it all together with this final insight, which is paid traffic amplifies what already works. If your product pages convert well, paid traffic will scale your sales. If your content resonates, ads will get it seen faster. But if your foundation is shaky, you know, paid traffic will just amplify the cracks. This is why many first time advertisers say, I ran ads but nothing worked. The problem is not the paid ads, it's what the ad leads to. Paid reveals the truth. Organic builds the foundation. Together they become unstoppable. So don't look at this as a choice, look at it as a sequence. Start with clarity: who you are serving, what are you offering, and why anyone should care. Then build organic trust. Create content that proves you understand your customer. Show up consistently. Once you have a base, even a small one, test paid traffic to amplify what is resonating and keep going. That rhythm, create, test, learn, and improve. It is the engine behind every successful digital business.